then we would have figured out really what the 241 is saying.
Right.
Okay, that'll be the next time. Okay, all the best, Mayor.
Hey,
A
have a
great
good day,
day.
everyone. Be
Yeah,
well.
man.
Okay, take care, Roy. Take care, Lou. And
Take
take
care.
care, Ellen, if you're there.
10th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. It's on 6B1, right-hand column, the second paragraph.
Okay, great.
So that was going back from where we were. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, Roy,
Is it
please.
is it the Vahey Hava de Amna?
Yes.
All right. Let's see what I can do. I was wrong. Now here in the Mishnah from Bechoros, it says Tikopor Bahain Ain Motzi in Al Miyado, that if a Kohen sees a questionable Bechor, we do not take it away from him.
Right, we don't know whether this animal is a Bechor. We don't know whether his mother gave birth previous to him or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. V'koseine to say Machabeiru, no, Bechabeiro Alov Haraya, for such is evident from which the Mishnah teaches the burden of proof is on the one who seeks to extract property from the possession of another. And Ashra continues on its own, which seemingly applies to either a Cohen or the Israel. Burden of proof. Right? Whoever is seeking to exact the questionable Bechor, but a Kohen must first seize the questionable Bechor for it to be treated as his. And yet, even if he did not seize it, it is consecrated, for the Beresa teaches Asurin it is forbidden with regard to shearing its wool and using it for work. Thus, it is evident that in a situation where the taking of disputed object, continues the scroll, into one's possession cannot be reversed by the court, one can consecrate it even without taking it into one's possession. Therefore, the law with regard to the bath is that it is consecrated. The is emphasized by Armstrong.
Again, what's the raya from this Mishnah in Bechoros?
It's evident that in a situation where the taking of a disputed object into one's possession cannot be reversed by the court, one can consecrate it even without taking it into one's possession. Therefore, the law with regard to the bath or bathhouse is that it is consecrated.
It is consecrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I really.
Okay. Let's try to understand this. we have an animal over here, and we're entertaining the possibility that it may be a Bechor. We don't know for sure, but it's maybe the mother gave birth before. We don't know. We're not sure. But maybe not. So really, it's a suffix ashokol. It's like a equal. It's a perfectly. The two sides are equal, really, as far as we're concerned. Now, of course, on the side that the animal is a bechor, it belongs to the Kohen. It belongs to the Kohen. It belongs to Kohanim, and he, if it was definitely a bechor, we would not take it away for sure if he grabbed it. Now, but what about the fact that we don't know for sure that it's a bechor? So what does that mean? That means maybe it belongs to the Israel who owns the mother. The Israel owns the mother, and maybe this animal is not a bechor. If it's not a bechor, then that animal definitely is owned by the Israel who owns the mother. On the other hand, if it's a bechor, then it's definitely owned by the Kohen. So who's in physical possession of this suffix bechor is the owner of the mother. The baby calf is there in the same pen as the mother. Let's say. So the Kohen, and that's where it is. That's where the animal is. Is there any more chance that the Kohen owns it, that the Israel owns it more than the Kohen? No, but it is in the physical possession of the Israel, owner of the mother. So the Mishnah says, Tukva Kohen, he comes in and he grabs it away. The Kohen grabs it away, grabs the animal away. Now, we're not going to get involved in whether he was allowed to do that. That's not our topic for today. But that's what happened. That's what he did. The question now is, what's the Beis Din going to do that he grabbed it? So the Mishnah says, Ein motzino somiyodo. We don't take it away from the Kohen. We don't take it away from the Kohen. Ein motzino somiyodo. Why should we take it away from him? Well, you'll say, maybe he's not the owner. Well, maybe the Israel is also not the owner. Here comes Alan. And does the Art Scroll say where this Mishnah is located in Bechoros? It's not clear to me which words are from the Mishnah and which words are from the Gemora.
It's 5-3.
5-3?
Yeah,
No, it's starting at the Bechoros thing starts at 46, 47. Talks about the miscarriage business.
So, sorry, the reference in Bechoros is what?
Eric Hay, Mishnah Gimel.
What is it?
Okay. Okay, I'm not.
Bechoros what?
The Bechor.
Lou said 5-3.
I see 46A and 47B is where, I don't know where the Mishnah is, but that's where the Bechor's claim is.
So it seems like the words of the Mishnah are Tok Kohen, Ein Motzino Sumiyodo. Not sure. The Gemora doesn't the Gemara doesn't cite the Gemara doesn't have a citation over here as that these words are words from the Mishnah. It doesn't. The Gemara doesn't introduce it as a Mishnah either.
Bechoros 5:3. Is it?
Okay. Anyway, not to get caught up with the details, but the Gemara is saying
5:3 C18 6A.
Hacha the Amar Tokfu Kohen Ein Motzino Somiyado Diktani that we learned in a Mishnah Hamotzi Mechavera Olav Araya. Because we learned in a Mishnah Hamotzi Mechavera Olav Araya. If you want to take it out, you have to have a proof. The Kilo Tokfo. Even if he didn't grab it, Asurim Begiz Vavoda. Ooh. Rashi says it's talking about the donkey. Okay, I'm at a loss to understand what's the point over here with the. I can't even figure out who's saying what about what. I can't think about something unless you know what it's talking about. I thought we were talking about okay, I don't know. We're lost over here. In regard to a suffix Bechor, we say the Tana of the Mishnah says Takfu Kohen. He grabs it away, and the Yisrael is quiet. Ein motzino somiyodo. And the proof of that is because we learned in a Mishnah, I don't know which Mishnah, Hamotzi mechaver olav araya. Meaning to say, whether the Kohen is coming to take it away from the Yisrael, whether the Yisrael is coming to take it away from the Kohen, who already grabbed it away from him. In the case where he was quiet and only afterwards he protested the taking. So the din is Hamotzi mechaver olav araya. The kilo tokfu, and Rashi says it's talking about the chamor. The kilo tokfu chamor koach hektish the osron begizva avoda. Wow. So therefore, the Gemora is saying that we have a proof now that in the case of the bathhouse, if he would grab it away, and the other one would be quiet and then yell out afterwards, we would not be able to take it away from the one that grabbed it away. And if that is so, when instead of grabbing it, he's makdish it, it is kodesh. Even without grabbing it away and bringing it into his physical possession. Wow. Kasher hukam k'shikdushas habehema novas mikoyach yoso suffix shel kohen. Okay, that's enough for me. What's Art Scroll have to say? Wow. One tough Gemora.
Got a few footnotes, and it refers you to a previous footnote which is very long. Six A footnotes.
Hey, who wants to read the
It's a 6A note 18. It's just Horace 5.3 and also C 6A note 18. As well as notes, relevant notes are what, 9, 10.
we don't want sources. We want to know what's the explanation.
All right, so I'll read it. It's footnote 8 on 6b1. Rav Hamanuna holds that where a genuine doubt exists as to the ownership of an object, the court does not view it as definitely belonging to the one who is in possession of it. Rather, they leave it in his possession in accordance with the principle misafka lo mafkinan mamona. We do not remove property from someone's possession out of doubt. Therefore, if the Kohen seizes it from the Yisrael, who is silent at least temporarily, he is allowed to keep it. And that's quoting Bechoros 5:3. Then the next footnote says it might be consecrated. That's Rashi. And then the next footnote says Rav Hamanuna holds that the sanctity of a Bechor stems from its status as Kohenite property. According to Ritva and Mitzal Mechubetzes, in the name of the Ritbash, a Bechor is imbued with sanctity to the extent that the Kohanim own it and could, if it were private property, consecrate it themselves. Hence, Rav Hamanuna reasons, since the disputed Bechor is sacred, even though no Kohen seized it, the law must be that a person can consecrate a disputed object even without seizing it, provided that if he were to seize it and his adversary would be silent, at least temporarily, he would be allowed to keep it. This resolves the inquiry regarding the case of two people holding onto a cloak. Just as a Kohen can consecrate a questionable Bechor, even though it is in the possession of the Yisrael, so too, one of the litigants holding onto the cloak can consecrate the opposite half, even though it is in the possession of his opponent.
Okay, so in spite of the fact that the two people are holding on to the talus, and one person declares hektish. What does it mean? The whole talus, not only the part that he's holding, the part that the other person's holding. So even though he doesn't have physical possession, somehow we have a proof from the case of the Bechor and the Kohen that since if the Kohen would grab it, he would be able to keep it. We wouldn't take it away from him. So that means that if he would consecrate the animal, that means that not talking about consecrating the animal, we're talking about consecrating the bathhouse or consecrating this talus, you're saying, even without physical possession, they'd be able to do so. Okay. Something like that. We're building some type of a bridge from the fact that if the Kohen grabbed it, we wouldn't take it away from him. So therefore, that would mean that even the one that doesn't have physical possession would be able to consecrate it in the case of a suffix. Not sure exactly how it translates as a proof. In other words, that level. I mean, that's the level of the ownership that the Kohen has in this animal. That since it's a suffix, we don't really know whether he owns it or not. But if he would grab it away and the other person would be silent initially, we wouldn't take it away from him. So that's a certain level of ownership. Even though it's right now not in his physical possession. So we give him that power of ownership, and say the same thing about the one that holding on to the talus. Because we're saying if one of them would grab it away from the other one, that both of them are holding it right now in the Bezdin. One of them grabs it away from the other one. Initially, he doesn't say anything, and afterwards he cries out. We said that we won't take it away from the one that grabbed it. So if so then we're going to say that level of ownership is sufficient to allow him to consecrate the whole talus, even though the other half is not in his physical possession right now. And similarly with the case of the bathhouse, with the rabbis that they were concerned that the bathhouse was hektish. Same thing. We're bringing a proof here now that the hektish could work, even though there was a dispute about the ownership, and we weren't sure whether the whether the one that declared it hektish, we're not sure that he's the actual owner. Okay. Now so that's step one for today. We got time for step two. Let's go to step two. Now, the Gemora is going to tear up this proof. This was a proof that the bathhouse should be regarded as being consecrated, that the hektish was effective. Now the Gemara is going to, from Tukva Cohen, now the Gemara is going to tear up this proof. So we start the Chiyuv from Amar Le Rabbah. Amar Le Rabbah. Okay, the first word in the line is Uba Avoda. It's about 12 lines from the top.
The last paragraph on the right-hand side of 6b1. Rav Hamanuna's proof is rejected.
Okay, Lou, you want to read?
Amar Le Rabbah. Rabbah said to Rab Hamnuna, Kedushes Bechor Ras. Let's see, the holiness of the Bechor is like what you say. La'olam ema lach. In fact, I could say to you, tikafo kohen motziin oso miado. That if a kohen seized a questionable bechor, the law is that we do not take it away from him. Va'afilu hachi asurim begiza uva voda. And nevertheless, here it is forbidden to regard the shearing, or with regard to shearing and working. The kedusha haba'a me eleha shani, because sanctity that is acquired automatically is different. Now, the Art Scroll comments, it's automatic sanctity is different from sanctity that comes from human intervention. The sanctity of a bechor is acquired automatically at birth, regardless of the Kohen's ownership of the bechor. Hence, a bechor is not comparable to an object such as a bath, the sanctity of which is affected by the person's declaration and is therefore dependent upon that person's degree of ownership in it. Now, the footnote says, according to this approach, it is possible that in the case of the bath law, in the case of the bath, the law is that one of the disputants if one of the disputants were to take possession of it, he would be allowed to keep it. And yet, if he were to declare it sacred without seizing it, his declaration would not be effective because the bath is not currently in his possession, according to Rashi.
Mhm. Okay, so what the rabbi is saying over here is that whether the Kohen is going to have a right to grab it has nothing to do. Rav Hamnuna was making a case that the right of the Kohen to grab it, to grab it, and that the Bezdin wouldn't take it away from him, was a proof about the declaration of hektish by one of the parties that was disputing the bathhouse, that it should be hektish. But the rabbi says, what's the comparison at all? Talking about apples and oranges. When it comes to a bechor is kaddish because it was the firstborn animal of the mother. It doesn't have to do with whether it belongs to the Kohen or not, or whether the Kohen would be allowed to keep it if he grabbed it. It's got nothing to do with that. It's a gedusha that comes me'aleha. It comes automatically. Nothing needs to be done. And if it's a firstborn, it's automatically kaddish as a bechor, and it's going to be usher begiz v'avoda. It's going to be usher to work it and to shear it. But and so that okay. But in regard to the bathhouse, it doesn't have any. It's not a kedusha that comes automatically. There's nothing that says this bathhouse has to be hektish. It's only dependent upon a person declaring it hektish, and that person who declares it hektish, and not everybody can declare it hektish. It has to be the person who's the owner. And then there's the question of this physical possession factor of who we would regard, I guess, as the owner. If we would regard him as the owner, because if he would grab it, we wouldn't take it away from him.
But once it's declared hektish, once anything is declared hektish, is that hektish the same strength as a Kohen, someone being born a Kohen?
Well, if the person has if he's the owner of the bathhouse, then he can make it hektish.
Yeah,
and it's in his physical possession, he can make it hektish.
Right.
But anybody else, they could say all they want, but it's not going to become hektish. It's not. It's the bathhouse is not. Doesn't automatically become hektish because it's a bathhouse. But a bechor, it becomes a bechor because it was the firstborn. It's got nothing to do with who is in possession of it, who owns it.
Yeah, but I'm asking is once both of them are hektish, well, the person is hektish straight away, but the bathhouse is made hektish by its owner, so they're both hektish now together. That have they the same strength, or is the hektish somehow of that's been declared by an owner of an object? Is that hektish somehow rather of lesser quality than the birth of a Kohen?
Well, in truth, hektish could be redeemed. You could redeem this bathhouse by
Paying for it, yeah.
Yeah,
But you can't redeem.
can't make somebody who's a Cohen not a Cohen.
Yeah, no, you can't. Okay. So
Okay,
so one's stronger heritage than the other, so to speak. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care, be
okay.
well.
Everybody have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Be well, all of you.
Okay, take care, everybody.
All the best.
See you later. See you, Phil.